The oddball cops from the Academy are back in Police Academy 2, their first assignment. Released in 1985, this time Mahoney and the gang are no longer in the Academy, but now cops, where they are sent to clean up a crime-ridden district, which is being tormented by a street gang known as the Scullions, led by the Wacky Zed. But the question is, are the new recruits ready for the challenge? And will there be crazy shenanigans along the way? Well, of course there will be. This is a Police Academy movie. Crazy shenanigans is why people went to see these movies in the first place. In this fun and enjoyable sequel, which is loved by some, but considered not as good as its original by others. So get ready as we're looking into some of the mysteries surrounding Police Academy 2, like which actors didn't want to return? Why was a mediator needed to calm the set? Was Police Academy successful despite its negative reviews? And just who on earth is this character on the movie's poster? So today we are going to explore 10 things that you may not know about Police Academy 2, their first assignment. But for time and purposes reasons, today I'm just going to be referring to it simply as Police Academy 2. Even though this time they're actual cops and not in the academy. Either way, let's check it out. Number 10. An Academy of Increased Budget. Given the fact that the first Police Academy movie was so successful, bringing in over $149 million on its itty-bitty $4.5 million budget, the studio wanted to get straight to work on a sequel, in order to keep some of the box office Police Academy glory alive, where once again, Paul Maslansky was on board as producer. However, unlike the first movie that was filmed in Toronto, the sequel was filmed in Los Angeles, which beefed up the movie's budget to $7.5 million. On the account, as Maslansky puts it, filming in LA is more expensive, thanks to property owners charging for filming at their sites and parking and so on. What also did not help the budget increase was the fact that the returning cast supposedly all wanted pay rises for returning to their parts. Hightower actor Bubba Smith claims that he made more money from Police Academy 2 than he did in his 10-year career of playing professional football. So, I guess a well-paid cast equals a happy cast. Although one important cast member nearly didn't return. Number 9. Steve Guttenberg nearly didn't return. So most of the cast from the original returned for Police Academy 2, with even some new faces turning up to join in the shenanigans. However, Police Academy's main star, Steve Guttenberg, initially wasn't interested in returning to the vital role of Mahoney, whose character stole the show in the original movie. Guttenberg just didn't think that the script was particularly good, and thus wouldn't live up to the original, but producer Paul Maslansky had a chat with the young actor, and managed to convince him to return. Guttenberg also says that at that stage, the script had had some rewrites and was now a lot better, so he was more comfortable to return. So Guttenberg originally turning the movie down probably caused improvements. Guttenberg also ended up returning for Police Academy 3 and 4, but by the time the 5th movie came along, he decided to star in 3 Men and a Baby instead. I mean, why wouldn't he? That movie had a ghost boy. Number 8. The original director had to be removed from the production. The original Police Academy movie was directed by Hugh Wilson, but he did not return to direct Police Academy 2. Instead, he directed the comedy western Rustler's Rhapsody, not to be confused with Bohemian Rhapsody. Wilson also took Lieutenant Harris actor G.W. Bailey with him too, as he chose to not star in Police Academy 2, but the as mentioned Rustler's Rhapsody. So instead, filmmaker James Signorelli came on board as director. Signorelli had previously worked as a producer on Saturday Night Live, as well as previously directing the comedy movie Easy Money. However, according to IMDb, the producers thought that his vision of Police Academy 2 was considered, quote, too edgy. So he was let go and replaced with actor-director Jerry Paris, whom had mainly directed TV shows like The New Dick Van Dyke Show and Happy Days. and he does seem to understand the wacky oddball world of the first Police Academy movie and bring it to life here once again. But damn, I really want to know what this edgy version of Police Academy 2 would have been like. So wait a minute, it was felt that Police Academy 2 was too edgy. A sequel to a movie that features a scene where a guy's head gets stuck in the rear end of a horse. So if that scene was a-okay, then I'm really intrigued to know what it was about Police Academy 2 that was just way too edgy. Number 7, casting possibilities. Yeah, believe it or not, but the truly legendary Bill Paxton could have been in Police Academy 2. And given his comical performance in Weird Science, I could see him fitting perfectly in the Police Academy universe. The Academiverse, if you will. He auditioned for the part of the goofy thug, Zed. But instead he decided not to follow through with Police Academy 2 and decided to star as Hudson in Aliens. And it was game over for his plans to star in the funny sequel. So instead the part was given to Bobcat Goldthwait, or as I always knew him as a kid, Croaky Voice Guy. The reason given for Paxton not taking the part is because he would have had to have signed on for further sequels, which he didn't want to do. A young Jerry Seinfeld auditioned for the role of Proctor, but his audition didn't go well, so the part went to Canadian actor Lance Kinsey. Both Seinfeld and Kinsey had the same acting agent, and after his audition, Seinfeld went to Kinsey and told him the part is still available. So, yeah, the audition obviously didn't go down too well. Number 6, settling a dispute. So as mentioned, many of the same talented actors from the first movie returned to grace us with their comedic presence in Police Academy 2, as well as a new lineup of comedic talent coming on board to play new characters. But apparently this was not a joyful working experience, as the returning cast felt like the new cast was taking up most of their screen time, and that they were just being pushed aside. Bobcat Goldthwait in particular was given more screen time when Jerry Paris took over as director, as he really liked his work. Even Hightower actor Bubba Smith approached the scriptwriter, wanting to know why he didn't have more lines. Oh, and this wasn't just some petty squabbling either. Supposedly, the on-set tension was so bad between the old and new cast, the production was temporarily shut down, and a mediator was brought in to try and ease the tension between the cast and to make everything a-okay. And well, thankfully it seemed to have worked, as filming did resume, and we can only hope there was no more ill feeling between the cast. Number 5. The script repulsed one of the original actors. So as I mentioned, Steve Guttenberg nearly didn't return because he initially didn't like the script. But also as mentioned, he was brought back. However, it wasn't the same for Leslie Barbara actor, Donovan Scott. Now he received a copy of the script, but he objected to a scene which involves his character eating cat poop, finding it to be revolting. Things were already off to a bad start thanks to that stomach-churning scene. But when he found out that the original Police Academy director, Hugh Wilson, wasn't returning, it was a no from him. So he decided not to return. And in his absence, the character Vinny was created, who was played by Peter Van Norden, whom, the first time I saw this film, thought that he was that guy from Dumb and Dumber. But he's not. Jeez, unless Scott is a method actor, I don't think that he would have had to have really actually eaten actual cat poo. Number 4. Alternative titles. To me, the subtitle of Their First Assignment just doesn't roll off the tongue quite right. I don't know what it is about that title, but it just doesn't do it for me. However, in other parts of the world, the subtitle of Their First Assignment would be changed. In Italy, it was changed to simply First Mission, which I like. It's short and sweet. And in this French poster, it translates to Police Academy 2 at work. In Germany, it was changed to Now They're Really Getting Started. And I oddly really like this one, even if it sounds more like a tagline than the actual title of the movie. And I also really like the wacky font that they used for this subtitle on the German poster. And finally, the Spanish version translates to Police Madness 2 First Mission. Which I guess makes sense, as in that part of the world, the first movie was also called Police Madness. According to Google Translate, the Belgium title is The Beach in It. I don't know what that means, or if Google Translate didn't translate it properly, but yeah, Police Academy 2 does have a beach in it, so maybe that's what it means. I also like the tagline on the Australian VHS tape, which reads, "To protect, to serve, and make you laugh. America's funniest crime busters are back." That should have been the name of the movie. Police Academy 2, Crime Busters. Number 3, deleted romance subplot. Yeah, it seems that there may or may not have been quite a few tensions on set during the making of Police Academy 2, what with cast members wanting more lines and more screen time and not being happy with the script. So it's here that we get to the character of Chloe, played by actress Julie Brown. And apparently her and Steve Guttenberg didn't really get along during the making of Police Academy 2. During the carnival sequence, there was to be a scene where the Chloe and Mahoney characters are riding on a Ferris wheel together, and in the scene they were supposed to kiss each other, but Guttenberg refused to kiss Brown, telling her that his character would never kiss her character. So there was going to be more of a romantic subplot between the two characters, but it ended up being deleted, probably due to the lack of chemistry and the two actors just not seeing eye to eye. And yeah, she's hardly in the movie. She briefly shows up at the start and at the very end. Who knows, maybe Guttenberg just didn't want to do another romantic subplot, which had already been done with the Karen Thompson character in the first movie, who was played by Kim Cattrall, who didn't return for Police Academy 2. Number 2, Mystery of the Blonde Woman. Okay, can we just take a moment to appreciate the Police Academy 2 poster, as it is truly beautifully drawn. In fact, all the Police Academy movie posters are glorious works of art. They really capture the slapstick zany nature of the movies, while also being incredible art pieces. However, if you look closely at the movie's poster, you'll see this blonde female officer. Well, according to IMDb, this character wasn't in the film. She was sort of added into the poster as a joke by the producers. But I'm going to have to go all YouTube comment section here and say, well, actually, I don't agree. Now, I will admit, when I first saw this poster, my initial reaction was that this is the Callahan character, who, after all, is a very popular character in the Police Academy franchise. But there's one problem with that. Callahan actress Leslie Easterbrook wasn't in Police Academy 2, as she was pregnant at the time and thus unavailable. But upon giving Police Academy 2 a rewatch, I think I figured out this anomaly. This blonde officer on the poster is the Kathleen Kirkland character played by Colleen Camp, who is in the second movie. I mean, if you look at their facial features, they are kind of similar, only I think that on the poster they just made her look more blonde. So what do you guys think? How can we solve this puzzle? Is this a random character who doesn't exist? Or is it an accidental inclusion of the Callahan character? Or is it the Kathleen character? It's a mystery, wrapped up in a puzzle and hidden in a shoe. Yep, I talk about all the important topics in this show. Number 1. Police Academy 2 was a hit despite its reputation. Police Academy 2 was released in March 1985 and would go on to make $115 million on its as mentioned $7.5 million budget. It didn't quite reach the same numbers as the first Police Academy movie, but it was still very successful, especially considering it's a sequel, which tend to do nowhere near as good as their originals. It would also go on to become the 11th highest grossing movie in the United States of that year. So Police Academy 2 was big business, and its success instantly put a third movie into production. However, here's where the zany fairy tale ends, as Police Academy 2 got overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics, with it being criticised for not being as funny or as creative as the first movie. Critic Leonard Moulton said that there are Dragnet episodes that are funnier than Police Academy 2. And that's the original crime drama series of Dragnet, not the comedy movie. And Siskel and Ebert added it to their 1985 list of terrible sequels. The popular opinion of the Police Academy movies seemed to be that the first movie was really good and has the most laughs, but everything after that just pales in comparison and reduces itself to being cheap, lousy humour. And I agree, some of the Police Academy entries that went on did start to feel like quick and easy movies for a quick buck, of lower quality with stale jokes that to me sort of had a made-for-TV feel about them. And I do think that stale is the word here. In my opinion, and it's just an opinion, some of the later Police Academy movies did feel really stale, like it was done but they were dragging it on. But most people also claim that this started with Police Academy 2. That's when the quality suddenly dropped. In fact, if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, Police Academy 2 is full of reviews saying that it's just not as funny as the first movie, like it just can't escape that comparison. But you know what? I still have lots of fun with Police Academy 2. Yeah, it's stupid and ridiculous, but sometimes you need stupid and ridiculous. Not every movie can be as serious as Apocalypse Now. Every once in a while, you need a stupid, oddball Police Academy movie to even out the balance. To me, the Police Academy movies is kind of like Looney Tunes for adults. It's slapstick and people get thrown around and hit and fallen and kicked and whatnot, but no one actually really gets hurt. It's just there for a quick laugh to make you feel better. It's a cartoon, but with more naughty words and raunchy jokes for the adults. And I also do think that Police Academy 2 does continue on with what the first movie has started. It carries on with that comical world. And personally, I don't think that this was the movie that started the franchise's downfall. So for better or worse, I think that Police Academy 2 is a fun, silly, oddball comedy. Especially if you're in need of a silly, oddball comedy. Am I saying that it's a high art masterpiece? No. Am I saying it's one of the greatest movies of all time? Of course not. And I get why some people don't like it. And maybe I'm mad, but I do have a soft spot for Police Academy 2. It is what it is, and it's not what it isn't. I just simply have nostalgia for it. And I find it to be nice, easy to digest, fun. Anyway, I'm Minty, and there really should be a Police Academy musical. See ya!